You were late getting us.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened.
Well, we're on here now.
We're here. Hello. I'm Ernie Pack.
Denise Pack. I'm trying to share this out. Sorry.
We're Packman Paranormal, and I don't know what happened to our intro video. It just quit right in the middle of it.
They probably tired of seeing that same thing they've been seeing forever and a day.
Yeah, we got friends that say they can make us a cool intro video, and yeah, they haven't.
Where are your comments there, buddy?
They're over there. Click on that. See?
Look, we got all these people in here, and you haven't even got in here yet.
Well, here we are. We're here.
Start doing that because I'm sharing this.
Hurry up and get done so we can talk.
Go for it.
Folks, we are here this week to celebrate Brian Paone's birthday. He promised he'd be in his birthday suit. I saw him backstage.
Very disappointed.
His birthday suit wasn't what I was expecting. It's not all it's cracked up to be. But but no, we're going to bring Brian on here in just a minute. We're going to talk about his book, These Walls Still Talk. We'll talk about how that book came to be. We'll talk about what's next for Brian, and we're going to debut the premiere of the book trailer for These Walls Still Talk.
We got, and look at all these comments already.
Hello, everybody. Got a lot of folks chiming in already. What was I going to say before you interrupted me?
I don't know.
Like usual.
I don't pay attention to you. I don't know.
You need to pay attention to me. But anyway, here we are. Should we go ahead and bring Brian on?
Yeah, I can't keep up with the comments right now.
They're going too fast. There's too many people talking. You all slow down. Slow your roll. Folks, welcome. Where's he at? He left.
He left.
I'm going to bring him to the stage anyway, and we just look at an empty chair. You want to do that? Let's do it.
Go.
There's Brian Paone.
I'm getting out of my birthday suit. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank goodness. Oh, Matt, we almost saw you from the waist down there. You should have put on pants. Just saying.
Well, how about if I take my socks off? Is that enough? I don't know.
No, we're all good. It's all good. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good. Doing good.
Rob says Brian's already tired of Ernie.
Rob needs to boot him. Who said he could come in here anyway?
Everybody's telling you happy birthday over here. Everybody.
You got 100 happy birthdays already.
No, I feel the love. I feel the warmth.
Well, so yeah, most folks know who you are that follow the Get Haunted Network. You are an author. You've written several novels.
Well, let's just interrupt you. What's wild is just 4-5 months ago, not a single person in Get Haunted knew who I was. Know what really
like he's agreeing.
No, like what humbles me, just like what I do not take for granted, is just how like well receiving,
Just what, Rob?
Bad? Am I having some bad internet, Rob?
He's a little glitchy every once in a while.
We've already talked about that. He's going to be flopping different.
Right, let me try my hotspot. I bet you my hotspot's going to work.
He's got kids on the internet, y'all. Y'all got to understand.
He's got kids at home, and they're all playing games and doing whatever they do. So give him some space here. But but no, yeah, you were saying that all of a sudden you're like a celebrity here on the Get Haunted Network. I'm sure.
Yeah, it was weird. It was, yeah. I mean, and the we love your hotspot, Rob. Oh man, I wouldn't expect anything less from you. I really wouldn't. All right, hold on. I'm gonna switch to my hotspot that Rob likes so much. So I'm gonna dip out for like a second.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
He's dipping.
This
is what happens when Brian dips, y'all. We sit here.
I don't know if that's better.
Then he comes back.
Is that any better?
It's kind of the same.
Kind
of. We just have to listen to your.
You're good. It's not that bad.
He said, "Bust out that $56,000."
Trevor likes my hotspot too. All right. Well,
everyone's a big fan of your hotspot.
Trevor has to say that because he's afraid I'm gonna, you know.
There, look, you look good there. You're clear. Don't move.
Whatever you're doing right now is working.
Okay. I
right.
duct taped an antenna to my back.
Good deal.
Alan says, "Are you fully dressed tonight?" I'm assuming he's talking to Ernie because last night they wanted him to come on a podcast and Ernie was naked.
Yeah, and that's a true story. But anyway, Brian, back to you. You were talking about how all of a sudden people know who you are, and you're getting a lot of comments here on the Get Haunted Network.
Yeah,
and you're like a famous ghost guy now.
Well, it's like just like a lot of love. It's just, it's.
That's what Damien says. Now you have your first ghost book under your belt. You're more adept to terminology of the ghost hunters.
Oh man, I'll tell you right now. So the terminology eluded me in the beginning. I knew when I'm getting messages. I don't know if it's telling me to like adjust my bunny ears. I knew like basic terminology. Right, basic terminology, and I feel like all of you guys are a walking encyclopedia, and I just listened. One of the best things was being there at Missouri State Penitentiary for 8 weeks, and being around all the tour guides so much, and then I just I learned about the ghost pointer thingy, and I learned about the and I learned about the Jigamo Bob and the Spectre, tchotchke.
Nice.
Those official terms that we all use, right?
Did anyone have a dongle by any chance?
It's a real thing.
It's really a thing.
I didn't before.
People don't like to share their dongles usually.
Yeah, people are very, very private with their dongles usually.
Yeah,
but it's a real thing.
Let me just address this real quick. Trevor is asking why is the EPS ticker on? Because we are promoting Robert and Marie Murphy's equipment because they have sent us some for here at the house.
We got a couple REM pods back on the mantle back there. Who knows? They could go off during the show. This
excellent equipment. So we just wanted to do a little advertising for them.
But I forget where I was going with this. Oh my god!
You learned about terminology and.
Oh my god! I got Rob yelling at Trevor even in comments and not even on his show. It's like it never ends. I just love you so much.
Gary Carpenter said Brian loves the dongle.
Thanks, Harry. Yeah.
Rob's telling Trevor it's called cross promotion.
You guys are killing me.
You're welcome, Rory.
Using the equipment. Forget it. That was a serious question. I'm done. I can't do this. Forget it. Oh man.
We told you we're not real.
You didn't know we were going to be talking about your dongle, did you?
No, my agent didn't tell me you'd be talking about that. So obviously,
well, you came on in your birthday suit. It appeared like it might be a appropriate conversation.
Oh man, no. My very first ghost hunt. I talk about it a lot in these interviews. And I went because we were bored one weekend. I'd never done one before, and I walked around and people were like, "Do you want a K2 meter?" And I was just like, "Sure," and they handed it to me. And I held it upside down and backwards. I was like, "This thing's awesome." I don't know.
Isn't that like a mountain in Dallas?
I'm like, it's fine. Like, do you want a REM pod? I'm like, REM made an album called Pod. I don't remember that.
I've got REM on my iPod.
So thankfully, Google is my best friend because like Jenny or Lisa or Reese or somebody at the penitentiary would like make a comment and I'd be like, I want to do that. That sounds great.
Yeah, it would be good to have one of those in this room. I agree. Yeah.
Anyway, that was that's talk about being thrown in the deep end. And I just wanted to write a book, and then I got like sucked into the whole the whole world of it. So
right
now you've been bitten by the bug, right?
Like to the point where like I'm like 60-40%. I'm contemplating driving to Pennsylvania Saturday to join Rob at the Harrisburg overnight investigation. I might actually, it's close enough where I might take the DeLorean. So I don't know. If the weather's nice, I'll take the car.
Don't take the DeLorean if Rob's going to be there, because he'll demand that he gets to sit in it so that he can try to look cool.
I'll let him drive it. I don't care. Rob can drive the DeLorean.
Or Roberto might be.
Yes.
Did you see his eye makeup the other day? He was beautiful.
Roberta.
Yeah.
But, well.
I don't know. I feel like Rob's yelling at me that they just announced they might be going to Pennsylvania. I mean, just like I don't know. Maybe people will want to come. I don't know. Like, hang out.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool.
I'm sure I can think of a few people that might go.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Not me, because I'll be working for the next month. Thank you.
I'd have to come without you.
But, well, go. So, I mean, you've on the Get Haunted Network, you have been on several podcasts now since you started the book,
right?
And
I
now
feel like I have stock in it now. It's weird.
What's that?
I feel like I have stock in it now, but
Well, maybe we're stalking you.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, and you've talked about how the book came to be, how you did your first ghost hunt. It was a Get Haunted event. Well, there was a Get Haunted event that weekend. You came back for it.
It was the next one, right?
And then wound up spending 8 weeks there at the Missouri State Penitentiary, which is a place we have not yet been lucky enough to get to.
That direction very much.
We haven't done a lot out that way.
Yeah.
And it's a place that we want to go. And I've heard tons
Are you coming to the book release party June 21st?
Well, it depends on if we get like invited or not, by anybody.
I'll have my people call your people and see if
all right, have your people call
I am his people, Brian.
All right. And that means I'm calling you.
Brian is his people. So there. But yeah, we'd love to come, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be great to have you.
If we can make it happen, we will.
Yeah. And there was Rob. It was a dark and stormy Rob. It was pretty much. Oh, Lisa's in here. Oh, Lisa, I miss you guys too.
If I'm missing anybody's comments, I'm sorry. There's so many.
Lisa, the tour guides from MSP, and they posted a picture today. They closed up for the season today, and they posted a picture of my writing desk. It's still in the same spot where I wrote for the 8 weeks. So it's like, I feel like it should be enshrined at this point. I'm not quite.
Yeah. They should just put a glass wall around it.
They should put like a dummy of me in there on like a laptop.
What's funny about that? I'm talking about writing desk. If you were to ever decide you wanted to come here and write, guess whose desk we got here that you could actually sit at and write on?
Who's that?
General William Tecumseh Sherman.
Oh,
downstairs.
Really?
The man who won the Civil War. Basically.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole bunch of Pandora's box. I might not want to open
it. You might have a lot of people in Atlanta mad at you. I don't know, but you did burn the town.
So you that's a good segue. That's a good segue because we've been kind of talking. We've been advertising tonight about debuting the trailer, which we're gonna do. But I've also been pushing out that tonight we might make kind of another big announcement, which have been only whispers amongst the community, I guess, at this point. So I guess we can go out and throw it out there. You guys, we had a conversation at the soiree. I have had a lot of people tell me that this should be a series where each book is a standalone, right? So, like the Hardy Boys and like Nancy Drew and Goosebumps, right? They're, this is the Goosebumps series, but you can read them all out of order and stuff like that.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right. So, you and I were talking, and you invited me to, if I was going to write a book too, to come to your house and write the book there. Another on location writing. and I happily obliged. And I've talked to my editor, and I talked to some other people, that I'm close with in the industry and other authors. And I basically have gotten a resounding, "You are fucking stupid. You don't keep doing this." Just like, this was supposed to be a one and done thing, right? This was supposed to be a horror novel about a ghost hunt gone wrong in Missouri State Penitentiary. They welcomed me in to write the book inside Missouri State Penitentiary. And now it might be a series. And now I've got book 2 is going to take place at your location. You've opened up your house for me to come with my laptop and stay in a place called the Murder Room, which again, I'm apprehensive about, writing in the murder room. But maybe I'm not sure. But I do understand that, like, this is your home, Missouri State Penitentiary, their bread and butter are their tours, are ghosts coming in from all over the country, guests coming in from all over the country, to do it. But this is where you live. And I know you and I talked about that. One of my concerns was that I would potentially bring more attention to your house. I would, because, and I wanted to make sure before we agreed to this that you guys were okay, because I absolutely would throw my hands up and back off and be like, you guys going, no, you know what, this is our house. But Ernie, you and I had this conversation on the phone where, you said, what, people are going to get on a plane to like drive by my house and look at it. Like, how much more, you know what I mean? It's like, I get that.
Right.
We've kind of gotten used to it. It's kind of, when we first got in here, we were kind of hesitant to really, we had a few people reach out that wanted to film, and we were like, yeah, we don't really know. But then people we knew personally wanted to do it. And it was like, we've kind of gotten a little more used to the idea. We've just kind of limited it some because we do live here. Right. But we would absolutely love to have you. And Rob slept in this room, so you need to ask Rob about his time here.
I did. I heard a story from Rob. I won't throw too much of his personal life out there. He, because he does still sleep in his Scooby-Doo underoos, and I guess, he woke up and his Scooby-Doo underoos were missing, and he still hasn't found them, and he's really upset because
we found them and they had like skid marks and it was terrible. So we just got rid of them. We didn't want to tell Rob about that.
D, who wants to know if your dongle's going to be in the next book?
So you guys are in Kentucky.
Yes.
So, yeah. What's that?
West Point, Kentucky. We're right next to Fort Knox, about 20 minutes from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. So I GPSed it from my house. It's about a 14-hour drive. So I think, what we would have to do is one of those things where where the Missouri State Penitentiary, I did it for 8 weeks, but I did it, I was there for 2 or 3 days and I left, and then I was there because I was back and forth at a hotel because of the drive and everything. It would be one of those things where, like, I would take 2 weeks off from work, drive, write the book, just basically, cram for the exam and do it in one.
Well, we're cruising around in the DeLorean.
Yeah, I'll bring the DeLorean. You guys can go take it. I don't know. So, but yeah, and something that I definitely did not want to do is I did not want if this does become a series, and for everybody who tuned in on Wednesday night show and saw the cover reveal, we had a Get Haunted tale over the title. So that is going to be on the cover of every single one of the books. That's going to make it the series. But if you saw, it's not like book 1, they'll never be numbered, right? Because let's say I write 10 of these. Well, you could start with 10 and then read 3 and then read 7, then read 1. I don't want numbers on purpose, because then it shows that they should be in some sort of order, and I don't think they ever should be. And the only characters that will carry over will be the Get Haunted people, because they'll always be hosting the event, but the people at the location will be the main characters. So, where this book, will focus around your house and you guys and stuff like that, where Missouri State Penitentiary obviously focused around, Jenny and Reese and Lisa and all the staff and Dano and everybody there. So, but the cool thing about your place is you have a lot more things going on there than just, the haunts, right?
Uh-huh.
What, why don't you guys, what you guys got going on?
Well, just across the highway from us. I mean, it'd be a par 5 from the house. If you know anything about golf, it's about 520 yards from here is Civil War Fort Duffield. And that is a large piece of property that was a Civil War fort that we host the paranormal investigations at. And on that property, we have the trifecta. We've got spirits, we've got squatches, we've got UFO activity. And teams that have come to investigate have encountered all three things.
We've had the last 2 events that we've done up there. We have had, and Rob was at the one in July, we've had 19, 20 plus people that have witnessed multiple Sasquatch in the woods looking back at us. And it's not just one person saying, I think I see that. You've got a whole wall of people standing there pointing and oohing and ahhing. They're all seeing it.
So so here's me, enter the author. You've basically just written the story for me, right? I mean, so here we go, book 2, right? The reader's going to come in, chapter 1. It's going to be about a small gathering at your house. You've opened up your house for a weekend or an overnight. It's very, very inclusive. It's going to be very, the who's of ghost hunting, right? Run by Get Haunted always.
Of course.
All of a sudden, Sasquatches, aliens start showing up, and just let's just blow the thing wide open, right?
Yes. Rob gets abducted and probed by aliens. I love it.
Hey, I'm going to address a couple of questions real quick, just because Wade asked something a while back.
Oh, yeah, if we have questions, let's interrupt.
He actually asked, is there perhaps an audio book forthcoming?
For me?
Yes.
Yeah, so Wade, and for everybody
that was D-Hoot. Wade's got a separate question.
Okay, so yeah, for obviously Wade, who's one of my favorite people, and everybody else, all of my novels, not just this one coming out, but this is my 10th book overall. Every single one of my novels are available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. Always, every single one. The audiobook tends to come out 4 to 6 weeks after the paperback and ebook, only because it takes that time for a narrator, because we hire professional narrators to narrate it and get it up. And it's just a slower process, recording an audiobook. But there will always be an audiobook. It's something that,
And Wade wants to know, while you were writing, how did you introduce yourself to the spirits and residual energies to yourself and the purpose in the jail?
Well, day 1, I walked into A Hall and I said, "Hey, everybody, I'm Wade's best friend." And then I heard a bunch of cell doors slam shut and a bunch of running. And
everybody left.
Things were being thrown at me from, up high. And so I left the building. I decided to try again. I walked back in and I said, "Hey, everybody, I don't know Wade." And then I heard clapping from the cells. So.
And they all came back. Yeah.
Did Rob tell you to bring your bug spray?
What? Where?
Did Rob, when you come to Fort Duffield, Rob said he has bug bites. We have some. The Kentucky Skeeters don't play.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like giving Wade shit because I feel like he can take it, and I like teasing him. But no, he the real answer was at first I didn't know what to do. Right? I would walk into A Hall or Housing Unit 4. And for people who've been there, exactly what that building looks like when you walk through the front door, especially if you walk into it alone. The staff would unlock it for me, or it would be already unlocked before I got there. And I would check in at the office, and then I would grab my laptop and I'd say, "Hey, I'm going to go hit A Hall." And the first couple of times I walked in, I didn't know what to do. It's so huge and ominous and echoey, and it's just got its own feeling. But over time, I started to walk in and just almost talk like there was a group of people sitting there. "Hey guys, hey everyone, I'm back, I'm here, gonna go finish chapter 4. you know, and I would almost speak like that there was people like sitting in those seats, even though there wasn't anybody in the building. So, and I got very, over the 8 weeks, I got very comfortable with that. You know,
That's awesome.
so.
Well, when should we show this trailer? Should we go ahead and show it so we can have time to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, we can do that, and then we'll
set it up any more than you have, or
so yeah, the trailer that I have a trailer for again. I have a trailer for all of my novels too, and there's a specific production company that I use now who I just feel like this guy blows it out of the park every time. This trailer is only 48 seconds long, but I don't know how he encapsulated the tone and kind of the atmosphere of the book and what it felt like to write there. He somehow grabbed that too. I sent him a whole bunch of photos that I took with my iPhone during my 8 weeks writing. He wove them into the trailer. So people who have been to MSP will see cells that are very recognizable kind of flash on the screen and then disappear. There are some shots, because he has like actors and actresses that obviously he couldn't shoot at MSP, right? So if you know MSP very well, I don't want someone to throw the bullshit flag and be like, wait, that's not an MSP. He couldn't get to MSP to film, right? So you're going to see shots of the main character is Hannah. So there's shots of Hannah supposed to be MSP, but of course those had to be done in what would look like an abandoned prison, even though those shots aren't there. But all the other shots that don't have her in it are photos from my iPhone that he manipulated to actually create this mood and tone and stuff like this. So hopefully everyone has their sound on, because it's narrated. Although of course you have your sound on. If not, you just be like,
exactly. You just all right. Well, anyway, folks, we're gonna play this. I am, we always talk about how we're technically challenged, but I think I've got this figured out, folks. So, without further ado, here's the world premiere of the trailer for These Walls Still Talk.
After Hannah steals a possessed piece of fabric from the Missouri State Penitentiary on a drunken dare, she resolves to return the item during an overnight phantom hunting event at the prison hosted by Get Haunted. Going from one creepy location to another in the dark hours, Hannah watches her best friend, Christian, experience increasingly spine-chilling incidents, one after the other. And when she can't remember where the object belongs and tries one last cell, a vengeful specter refuses to let them leave. She may have walked in, but will she walk back out with her life?
It's badass.
So you missed like the first 4 seconds, which is the shot that Reese, she's on here. She's one of the tour guides, actually gave me, because the camera pans up the front of the entrance and then it kicks in. So
Did it not play?
It didn't.
It played when we watched it on this end.
Oh, it's so on my end, it cut in right when there was already narrative happening. So
maybe I don't know. Did everybody else see the first little part of it? Huh.
Well, we're gonna play it again here later in the show. We'll see if it works.
Yeah,
because we did see it on our end. I don't know.
Okay, then maybe everyone else did. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
but, a lot of rave reviews over here. Awesome, very cool. Chills, amazing.
I can't even keep up.
Okay, then maybe it was just on my end, but maybe because I'm in the show, if there was a delay.
Maybe.
Might have been.
Yeah,
Might have been.
Okay. But he will be posting it on his sites after this show.
Hannah wrote, I probably died because I'm an idiot, but who knows? So that Hannah, that's who my main character in the book is based off of. So. So I met her on that Get Haunted overnight that I went to that sparked the inspiration for the book. So
awesome.
I reached out to her a week later after we greenlighted this, and I was like, so Rob put us all into Rob put us all into groups, right? And I was there with a whole bunch of guys from my work So our group was so large that Rob could only put like 2 more people in our group to form a whole group. And Hannah and her friend Lizzie happened to be sitting in front of us. So he was like, you 2 are with them. So we kind of just got together. And when we were in the gas chamber, one of the guys I was with was inside using a spirit box. And Hannah had gone in first to do it. And when she came out, the only spot that she could sit at was in between the 2 chairs. So she couldn't see into the gas chamber to see the next person. Like there's a column. So I moved down because I noticed she couldn't see. So I said, I moved down so she could sit next to me. And yeah. And then, yeah, basically, yeah, Rob, see, you putting her with us just, yeah, ruined her life pretty much at this point. But she, I made space so she could move down, and then we just started like chit chatting, and then we kind of just, talked, a little bit throughout the whole cycle before free roam. And then when it was, time to write the book, I made the decision that I only wanted people who had something to do with MSP in the book. Right. And I'm kind of glad I did that, because now if this is going to be a series and there is definitely going to be a book 2 now at your place, the only people who are going to be in that book are people who have something to do with your place. So the characters of each book are going to be tied into the place itself. I very easily could have, as an author, just like made up a whole bunch of names and been like, well, those are my characters now. But I was like, nope, I want the tour guides. I want the Get Haunted people. And I want the people I was there with that night.
Well, will you murder him? Will he get killed?
Shut up. There might be a sequel.
I'll tell you, what was hard. One of the hardest things was when I wrote book 1, was deciding which words Trevor was going to stutter on in his dialogue in the book. So
that shouldn't have been that hard. You could have picked just about any of them.
But yeah, so everybody in the first book, has something to do with MSP. Yeah. And now, of course, people are asking Hannah how it feels to have it. So I reached out to her like a week later. I sent her this Facebook message, which was only about three sentences long, which is like the biggest exaggeration in the world. I wrote her the first message to her on Facebook. She probably should have blocked me. I mean, right now, if she ever like screenshots this message, well, she would have to do it in like 10 screenshots, because it's just like,
wow.
Remember me? And then like, I have this idea for this book, and is this weird? Because I want to use you as my character, blah, blah, blah. And it just kept going on. And I look back on it sometimes, I'm just like, fuck. But she was like, yeah, that, I wrote her like, I think, 2,000, 3,000 word message. And she replied with, yeah, that sounds awesome. Right. Just like,
at least it wasn't just one of these.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, right. She actually just thumbs up the whole message.
The little one down in the corner, not even the big thumbs up.
Yeah, right. It's the small one, right? So yeah. Me and her started talking, I wanted to, characters need to have some depth. They just can't be cardboard cutouts, right? Oh, look at, she remembers me because I'm from Salem, Massachusetts. If that's
we love
our favorite
Salem,
places too.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Salem, Massachusetts. I lived there until I was 30. So the first 3 decades of my life was spent there. So now that I don't live in Salem, like when you live in Salem, like it's you live in Salem. Everybody lives in Salem,
right?
It's just where you live, yeah.
It's where you live, right? But I find that the further away from New England that I get, especially when I was in Missouri, especially when I was at MSP for those 8 weeks, when guests would find out that, people went crazy to find out that, I know people were so excited they only went there once, right? I'm like, yeah, I spent 30 years there. So, that was always interesting to have that reaction, because I always had to like check where I was. Oh, that's right. You're not near. Oh, Dano's here. He's one of the tour guides.
Cool.
But yeah, so me and Hannah, I think actually, when me and Hannah talked a lot about Salem, that first night, and we just chit-chatted. It was very easy to talk to her, and I was like, I liked her personality. Did something happen? I'm not staying in that room.
There's somebody on the other side of the door, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you guys are home alone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want me to write in that room for 2 weeks?
Right here.
Will someone always be home with me?
No.
If we're working, we won't be. There's not a
We got guinea pigs. You'll be fine.
there's not a room in this house that doesn't happen in.
You know,
You'll probably be fine.
yeah, probably fine. Right. Yeah. But it was like when Rob somehow talked me into going down to the dungeon by myself. It's the only time I've ever done it, to record that little interview. And I texted him something like, I refuse to go down there alone. And he replied, "Oh, you're not alone." And I was like, "Oh, that's not helping me."
It doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help at all. Yeah.
Let me tell you how nuts this room is right there. This room is pretty nuts.
Rob just wrote, "Oh man, that room is nuts. Call me when you are crying in the corner."
Yes,
Probably.
Stacy says she's been watching the door the whole time. That's the door that opened on one of our
One of our
podcasts.
live podcasts, that door opened, and you could actually, if you look closely at that video, it appears that you can see an anomaly go into the room when the door opens. So yeah.
Trevor asked if Salem was as heavily marketed as a tourist town when you were a kid.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Reese's comment. He'll scream like a little girl again, because I did scream like a little girl at MSP one night.
Nice.
That's okay. He screams like a girl.
Shut
every once
up.
in a while.
We're talking to Brian right now. This isn't about me.
Wait, I would say it was heavily marketed as a tourist town where you were a kid. Salem, I'm going to say that Salem always drew in stuff in October.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it was somewhere around like the mid to late 90s, and maybe when like the first Hocus Pocus movie came out.
Yeah.
There was some, you know what did it? I don't know if you remember a movie called The Craft.
Yes.
So I remember when that movie came out in the theaters, like the next 2 or 3 Halloweens, I remember being like, why is Salem so much busier? Right. And then it just kind of, so somewhere in the mid 90s, we had this, like, it just really kind of plumed. And then, gosh, and then we had a point where my mother, I don't live there anymore. I live in DC now. They said, because I moved out when I was 30, but my mother texted me and said that this Halloween, 1.2 million people.
Wow.
Yeah,
We've
so
been to Salem twice on Halloween, and it was wasn't that
Yeah.
bad, I didn't think. But we always
I mean,
go. We get out of the city before it gets dark.
Yeah, before dark. We
Right.
do the witches circle over at the Commons, and
Sure.
then go back to our motel in Danvers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Danvers. Yeah, Danvers. Yeah, that's. But 1.2 million. I guess the police were kind of trying to keep as close of a tally as they could. They try to every year, and yeah, I guess like more people than ever. Like it broke records, so it's getting worse. Not better.
Yeah.
So
He
anytime.
needs to go in the summer. I've had him up there in the fall a few times, but he's never been in the summer. I love it. I can't even count how many times I've been up there. Newport, Rhode Island is my place.
Mhm.
And I feel like I have a serious history and attachment there. But of course,
We'll
I
talk about that when you come to
always
visit.
make my way up to Salem when I'm up there.
I tell people a lot who want to go to Salem. I say Salem is not an amusement park. It's not Six Flags. It doesn't close because it's not October. I get it. You want to go when it's spooky and there's Halloween decorations on people's houses and there's costumes. But Salem as a town is open 12 months of the year. So if you go to Salem in May or September, you're still getting Salem. Like all the shops are still open. The touristy things are still there. I don't know why people feel like October or nothing, right? And us who live there, who are like, get the fuck out. It used to take me, no lie. I remember, so I worked for the police department, so I worked for the Peabody Police Department, and Peabody is next to Salem. Okay, so it's Salem and Peabody. I would have to drive through the city to get to the police station. One night took me 4 hours. 4 hours. No, I'm sorry. It took me 90 minutes to go 4 miles. That's what it was. An hour and a half to go 4 miles. And I was just like, this is crazy. And you know what? It's not cars on the road. It's
people.
It's people. People walk on the streets of Salem in October as if they're on that main strip in Magic Kingdom going up to the castle. Right? Like,
Main Street USA and Walt Disney World.
Yeah, they treat it like it's Disney sometimes, and it's but oh, Reese is still waiting on I'll give you my mom's address. You can crash with her.
I guess you're 90 minutes to go 4 miles.
Oh yeah. So again, that's the stuff that when you live there, right? And people don't realize that it's still a working, breathing city. Like we still have to get our groceries. We still have to go to work every day. We have to go to you got to go to the dentist office. But I got to leave 3 hours early for my dentist appointment because I can't get through the pedestrians in downtown Salem. So that's always, that was always, there's a love-hate relationship when you're from there. Like, like I'm very proud that I'm from there, but there's also a part of me that's like, ugh,
He'll be overwhelmed when he comes to West Point.
Yeah, this town, you think that's busy. Wait till you get to West Point.
Yeah.
We got chicken gangs out in the middle of the road, invading people's yards.
People coming down the road on golf carts, driving like idiots. I mean, there was a guy that had to be going 20 miles an hour the other day. Right down Elm Street. Yeah.
Do you have like golf cart gangs? Like Hells Angels?
Golf cart mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the golf cart mafia. It's a wild town. You better bring your piece. That's all I'm saying. Better be packing. But no, I know you go into some of the public restrooms at Salem. I know from doing this because when I go to Salem, I go to the restroom. There's every one of them I've been in up there though has graffiti on the walls like "F you tourists."
That's me. Yeah, that's probably me, right?
Rob's telling you that chicken gang, that shit's real. He saw it.
He saw the 10th Street chicken gang.
And your house, I feel, is like the perfect vehicle for a book too, because there's so many things beyond ghost hunting that happens, in your location, with the alien sightings and the Sasquatch sightings. And I think I heard, and I might be wrong. So, but is there also fairy? You've heard some fairy sightings, or?
We've got an amazing picture of a fairy actually that I will send you. We're not competent enough to put it up on here while we're having the show, but
we might never
at our last event, he was actually standing beside the guy. We didn't take a picture, but he was standing with him, so he saw him take the picture. We were seeing
these orbs of light that looked about that big, a little bigger than a quarter, just kind of dancing through the woods. And he kept trying to get a picture.
You usually see them around the Sasquatch, by the way.
And he finally gets a picture and he's like, wait a minute, what's this? And he blows it up a little bit. And he's like, what is that? And when you see it,
I took it and lightened it up.
She lightened it up a little bit and blew it up a little bit bigger. And
you can make it out.
It's pretty freaking cool.
I just sent it to you in Messenger. Unfortunately, I can't put it on here, but we'll post it on.
Let me take a look at this live. Hold on.
Yeah, look at it live.
I sent the original and then the blown up version with me lightening it.
Oh my God. I wish you guys could all see this.
I'll see if I can pull it up on here. And
no. I want to leave them in suspense. This is us. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
right. Maybe I'll
put them in our house. They're in our house and at the Ford.
Yeah, we had Greg Bakken and Char Savoy here for a visit, and one came.
Rob wants me to hold my phone now. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like Ernie.
All right, that's my dad joke of the night.
Birthday.
I'm a year older. I got to make some dad jokes.
Hey, I can give you pointers.
Like Anna just said, I need to invite skinwalkers in the Loch Ness. I can't blow the whole load on book 2.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you might want to make a trip to Scotland to hang out with Damien and go look for the Loch Ness monster,
Right. There's 3 right there.
There you go.
So, like, in all seriousness, though, like, I was talking to Trevor, which is not always the smartest thing I found out, but I was talking to Trevor at the soiree about, turning this into a series, and I talked to you about book 2, and Trevor was like, hey, let me preface that with something. If this is going to be a series and this is going to go beyond a book 2, which I'd love it to now that I've kind of committed to doing another book, I don't see why I can't. I don't ever want to do two of the same types of locations, right? I've already done the prison penitentiary thing. So I don't want to have I don't want to do another book at a penitentiary. I'm doing, you know, book 2 is going to be at your place. So obviously going to stay away from, you know, what encapsulates your property. So if I'm on the hunt for other things, maybe like an asylum or maybe a church or shit, I'm from Salem. I can go back maybe in a funeral home, right? There's all these different things. But something that Trevor said, that he lives he lives near, I think he says, I don't know, maybe he'll speak up. He either lives near or knows about a cemetery that has a ton of folklore steeped in it. A very, very old cemetery in Kentucky. Maybe he'll.
Would it be Casey Cemetery, Gates of Hell?
No, I don't know. But if Trevor's watching, maybe he'll put it up. But I was thinking, wow, book 3. What if the whole book takes place outside, right? Because book 1 takes place inside the Missouri State. It takes place in the 4 buildings of MSP. My book with you is going to take place inside your house and then in the wood line and stuff. But what if an entire novel takes place in the cemetery? You know, so that's something good. There is a part of, so if you want to go back up to Salem, Lynn, Massachusetts touches, maybe a cave. A cave would be amazing.
Honestly, Anna over the Bell Witch Cave.
Yes, right. That's right. They could do that. But here's the thing, though. Because MSP let me stay there and write book 1, and you're letting me stay there and write book 2, I clearly can't write any of these books now from the comfort of my own home, right? I mean, I've set a precedence. I have to, right? So
there's a way to do it now. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to find places that either I'm allowed to be there because it's public, or I get in touch with somebody who allows me to enter to write, right? But there's in Salem touches Lynn, Massachusetts, and Lynn Woods is very famous in the area for having some really dark corners in it. My sister Alicia, who flew out to MSP for a weekend while I was there, so a lot of the people and all the tour guides know her. Hannah met her. Hannah spent a night with her. We went out to brunch the next morning together. So a lot of people got to know my sister that weekend, which was really cool because, you know, I'm close to my sister. I love my sister. And she's actually a character in the first book. Cool. In Lynn Woods, she had a crazy paranormal experience of something following, like physically, like trailing her. And there's all these weird folklores about Lynn Woods. So in my brain, I'm like, well, a whole book can take place in Lynn Woods, right? You know, and I can use, like, you know, with the story that happened with my sister and, you know, and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, it's like, I think Hannah wrote, it's endless, right? I can keep, you know, a haunted battleship. I think if I can get onto a battleship for, you know, you know, I mean, honest to God, I really need 14 days. I can't write a book first draft shorter than 14 days. I just can't, because then I'm just rushing it, right? So, you know, at MSP, I was there for 8 weeks. But because I wasn't there every single day, I was there a total of 17 days. So really, I was at MSP for 17 days. I know I say 8 weeks a lot because that's how long I was in the area, but I was at MSP for 17 days. But I wrote 2 drafts over those 17 days. So if I can get to a place and just write just the first draft there, I can probably do it in about 10 to 14. So, I mean, MSP was good because I got both drafts done there, you know, so. Yeah.
Wade's asking a question here. While writing the book, did you have the experience of recognizing the same spirits based on location in the jail?
While writing the book, did you have the experience of recognizing the same spirits? You mean like the same? So I in cell 43, I don't know if this is what he's asking, but I'll talk about
what Hannah said.
Hannah even wrote, yes, Wade, 43. I didn't even see that. My writing desk was in a spot in A Hall in Housing Unit 4, where if I looked straight up and just a hair to the left, I was looking at cell 43. In my Ghost Tube app, on, like, I don't know, the second weekend I was there, said like, who are you? And I said, oh, you know who I am. I'm Brian, the author who's writing the book about the place. And I would be like, who are you? And it said 43. And I looked up and I was staring at cell 43. And I was like, well, fuck me. Okay. Well, that was like my shit moment, right? So I, this was the night that Duncan was working. This is the night that I screamed like a little girl and he heard me. So this whole ties in now, right? So I was like, you talk out loud, and to the ghost tube, and it answers, and it kept saying things. And I kept a diary too. Kept a very detailed diary, and we're publishing the diary at the end of the novel as the author's note. So when the novel ends, end scene, curtain drop, turn the page. Now it's my diary of. Now we switch into real life, and we're publishing the diary with the novel.
Cool.
My editor was like, "How can you not? You wrote it. You made a diary. Like, how do we not publish that, right?" So, Reese, we all heard you. So, but this particular night, like, it kept saying things about like come up, and then it was saying like book, and then come in, and let me see, and I looked at Duncan, and I was like, I think the guy in 43 wants me to go right in there. And Duncan's like, why don't you go right in there? I was like, I don't why. I don't know why.
I'm really comfortable here. All my stuff is here.
But this was nighttime now. And they were, the ghost tours had come through and they were on their free roam ghost hunt, right? So the ghost tours are they're very structured. They don't let the guests wander. You go building to building as a group, stuff like that. Free roam is just, hey, fuck it all. We'll be outside, and you guys just do whatever you want. Nobody close a cell door and you'll be fine. So, but it was just like coaxing me up to 43, and I got in there and I sat on the cot, and I felt so welcomed, like warm. It was weird, right? And it wasn't even like nothing touched me. There was no physical at all, but there was this really sense of whoever was in here was just very curious about what I was doing and was very positive and wanted to know. It was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rest of my time there, I kept hitting 43 because I felt every time I went in there, it was like going to like an uncle's house that you liked hanging out with.
Right.
There was just this energy in there that I was very comfortable with.
Right.
It was later when I heard about stories of people seeing a shadow man coming out of specifically 43. He would even come out and kind of walk halfway down the catwalk and then disappear back in. And this was before I heard about these stories after I had already kind of discovered 43. So there's obviously, a presence in there. But this is where I screamed like a girl, and for a while, before every tour and every ghost hunt, the staff would kind of give me like 90 seconds, although Reese would only give me 10 seconds to kind of to like introduce myself, let them know why I was there, what I was doing, just so if they saw a dude walking around with a laptop, I kind of say what I was, and I would always end my little introduction with this story. So that particular night, I was in cell 43. And if you have ever had a laptop with the screen on in a pitch black, in a dark room, everything beyond the screen goes even blacker, right? It's even darker. Even if there is ambient light, even if there is whatever, it's gone, right? I was doing free roam and I'm writing. And a guest walks into 43. I did not enter. She did not have a phone on, a flashlight. She came in the room, and I had no idea she was there.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Clapping away, I'm pretending that I'm an author, and from literally above my head, this far away, is this woman who goes, "So how's it going?" And I screamed. I flipped the laptop, and I screamed, and I hear Duncan laughing
from 3 cell blocks away.
Yeah, he, like everybody, and I come out, laptop is closed. I don't even remember if I saved what I'd written. I don't even know. Like, my editor might like call me and be like, "What happened in chapter 4?" because there's like a whole bunch of like HBTRVE 3, 4, 5, 6 exclamation. I'd be like, yeah, you don't.
WTF, WTF, WTF.
And don't worry about that. So I come out my laptop's closed under my elbow. I go down the stairs and I sit next to Duncan, like he's in the front row because he has the I believe that night he had the LED grid up to to catch shadow figures. Yeah. And I sit next to him and I'm like, oh my God. I was like shaking, like, oh my God. He's like, Brian, so a human has scared you. Human has scared you more than like the things here. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, that was
he made Rob scream like a girl.
I did that up at Rock Island. I walked in the room. They were doing an EVP session, so I was trying to be quiet, so I walk in the room.
We don't use flashlights ever.
Right.
We walk around in the dark.
And I waited for a pause, and then I said, Rob. And everybody in that room, mostly Rob, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you guys have never you guys haven't been at MSP yet until you go on June 21st of next year for the book release party, which is a great time to plug. Hey, everybody who doesn't know, the big These Walls Still Talk book release party is going to be at Missouri State Penitentiary with Get Haunted hosting. We are doing a 8-hour overnight ghost hunt. There's going to be prizes, games, merch, food. I'll be there, a whole ton of books on hand to sign. Rob just put the link to the tickets in the chat. We are limited to only 100 tickets. This is one of those things where we had a Zoom meeting with Sheila, the prison boss. And, she said 100, that's it. We're capping it off. No more. This is one of those things where, when you hear that thing, like, tickets are limited. And then when they hit the limit, 25.
We just added 30.
No, we were basically told, like, she was like, no, you guys get 100 and that's it. It's over. Yeah, Rob will be signing Rob's. But so we've already sold a bunch of tickets. So they are going. If you guys, please grab your tickets. And we're doing this right now is early bird special. January 1st, the price of the tickets are going to go up. So if you click that link, you'll see you can buy your ticket right there. And I have we got a bunch of ideas for events, activities through the night that we're not even advertising. So if you buy your ticket, my goal is that when you show up, you're going to leave and go, wow, that was so much more than they even advertised. I really want that to be the thing.
We've been a part of a few Get Haunted events, and I got to say, they put on a first-class operations. Mostly due to Danny and Sarah. But
let me just go out real quick. It's 8:59. We can go for a few more minutes, but be sure that everybody knows that Julie Rose is getting ready to come on with the Esoteric Exchange. Tonight's her first night of her show, so I want people to know she's coming on too, so they don't
if you
miss her because of us.
Tune on in and watch that if you want to.
So do we have to get off at 8?
No, we can go.
We can go a few more minutes. I just want to make sure that they know that there's another show coming on, so we're not like
hogging this spotlight. If you're bored hearing Rob
talk about beaver
pelts.
Pelts. I said pellets.
That's a whole different currency there.
So I do want to say that now that we've released the trailer, tonight, the trailer will be for public viewing on YouTube. So if you just type in YouTube, These Walls Still Talk, the trailer will come up. You can watch it as many times as you want.
And maybe you'll see the actual very beginning in case it's not shown.
Me. Maybe it was just because I'm on the show and I'm, so.
I mean, it looked like it started with that slow.
If it started with it going up the front of Missouri State Penitentiary, then you saw it. I didn't. Mine cut in already.
Rob said that he saw the front of the building, so I'm assuming he saw. I mean, we downloaded everything that you.
But we're going to play it again here in just a couple minutes, so just stay tuned, everybody.
Rob said it played, so.
Well, I trust what Rob says about 20% of the time, and
I was going to say there's your first
you got
mistake.
Me beat. Yeah. You need to put another quarter in your internet machine.
Yeah, I guess so. I know. I'm sorry.
No, so the book is called These Walls Still Talk. It's basically a horror story centered around a Get Haunted ghost hunting event that I haven't read it yet, but I've heard enough about it, heard you talking about it, seen the trailer. It sounds like my kind of jam. I just said that's what the kids say nowadays, so I'm cool. I said my kind of jam. But anyway, I am looking forward to it.
Thank you.
And then you're going to do another novel. You're going back to your noir type thing.
Yeah. So the book that I had on the docket to write before I went to Missouri State Penitentiary, I'm going to write that one. And because I write in so many different genres, and I've been published now 17 years, right? This is my 11th overall book, 17 years, and it's all different genres. I don't just write horror. One of the concerns was that if all of a sudden I start just doing these Get Haunted tales, well, then I just become like then I'm defined by that. So I haven't spent 17 years trying to build a career of, different eclectic taste to then all of a sudden just go, well, this is the only thing I'm going to do. So we're doing an every other, right? So These Walls Still Talk is book 1. It's coming out. Then my next book is a Dark City meets Silence of the Lambs, neo-noir type serial killer novel.
Can I be the serial killer? Here. No, he's right.
This is nothing.
I want to be the murderer when you come to the Ditto House Inn.
He's talking. Crazy.
I'm just
ignore her. Please ignore her.
So that book will come out, and then I'll do Get Haunted Tale book 2, which will be at your place, and then I'll go back to writing something else, like something completely out of these book series, and then I'll pick my third location. So we're just gonna go back and forth. That way, there's still always something coming out that has nothing to do. So I'm not pigeonholing myself after all these years into just this.
Right.
So,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to be collecting the entire series of them. As well as some of your other books.
Well, thank you. I originally the original ending I had for book 1. I'm so glad I didn't do, because there couldn't be any more books, because like everybody died. Like Rob started killing everybody. I wouldn't have. It's like, oh shoot, I'm glad I rewrote. I rewrote the outline halfway through because I didn't like it. It didn't sit well with me for some reason. It's like, I don't know why it's not sitting well with me. I spent a lot of time agonizing over how this book was going to end. And I feel that back then it was never going to be a series, right? This was going to be a one and done. So I think back at that and I go, man, if I had gone with my original idea, I wouldn't be able to continue this. I would have, put the nail in the coffin. So the fact that I did like rewrite how it was going to end left it open for, so, Lisa doesn't want any spoilers. Well, Reese dies like in the copyright page. We've already talked about that.
The forward. Yeah.
Yeah. That was our joke. That was the whole joke. The whole 8 weeks I was there, that every time Reese like pissed me off, she's one of the tour guides. I moved her up a chapter where she found, right. And every time she did something nice for me, I would let her live longer, but Reese never did anything nice for me, and she kept pissing me off. So she basically made it all the way up. She finally ended at like the copyright page, like before the book even starts.
On the cover of the book is Reese's body.
Reese died.
When he went to the Ditto House, I'll be like, so I pulled up to the Ditto House Inn, and the packs were dead in the foyer when I got there.
Yeah. But fortunately, Rob showed up.
Yeah, but it was
well, we're looking
at the alcoholic main character. Yeah, right. Well, so, yeah, I don't know. Like very rarely do I ever talk about the plot of this book when I come on these shows, because everyone wants to know about like what it was like to be there, right? Nobody cares about the book. They just care about like this. Like the book is gonna suck and nobody's gonna care, right? Literally, because so. But one of the things is that really quickly, the book is about Hannah, the character, we talked about that, and some of the things about her are true to life, and some of the things are obviously fictionalized, right? But me and her spent quite a bit of time on the phone. And I, was doing some I wanted my character to have a lot of depth. I wanted it to be very 3-dimensional, and we spent a lot of time on the phone. And she kind of gave me an insight to some of the things in her life that I thought was really such a good, someone coming to an overnight ghost hunt who's also trying to wrestle their own demons, which is interesting because Rob talks about wrestling your demons in the Paranormal Activity a lot. And it was kind of like Lego pieces snapping together at one point for me. I was like, I can't believe that all of this is just so, symbiotic and fucking weird. It was just so weird how it all interconnected. Again, I talk about serendipity, and it was just there wasn't any piece forced in this whatsoever between the staff, MSP letting me right there, meeting Hannah, her story being almost like her real story in real life, handing it over to me on a silver platter, and then learning about Rob's personal life. And I was just my God, we can't make, it's like lightning in a bottle. You can't make this shit up, right?
Well, we have a lot to give you when you come here that I think you'll be able to work with.
Oh God. Yeah. So really quickly, the book is about Hannah, the Hannah character. This isn't Hannah in real life, but the Hannah character goes to MSP for her 21st birthday. And she's drunk. She's an alcoholic. And so she goes and she's absolutely intoxicated. And on a dare, her friends dare her to steal something from one of the cells. And she does. She steals something from one of the cells and goes home. But she takes with it a residual haunt. So for the next X amount of
again.
What's that?
You're getting super pixelated again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can switch again.
That's okay. I just didn't want you to keep talking. Everybody just see teeth. Yeah.
Oh, is that what?
Let's see.
Man.
Stand by, folks. He's telling us all about Hannah being evil and stealing something from a haunted location because that's how she.
Is that any better?
Let's see.
We got to let it catch up a minute because you're still a little frozen.
Let's see.
They're not really.
Nope.
Okay.
You look pretty scary. I mean, that'd be a creepy character.
Yeah. Well, people say about me anyway. What happened to my hotspot? That's weird. Hold on a second.
We hear you just fine. You just have a, scary face, right?
Scary cases are fun.
We met Brian in person. He wasn't all that scary.
He wasn't that scary.
He wasn't that scary. Not that scary. I mean, he's pretty scary, but not that scary. But let's see here.
That's
better.
Cleared
That's
up
better.
a little bit, yeah.
It's not yet. Well, I mean, it's never going to be perfect with with what I get to work with. So,
Right.
yeah. So that's just his face. Yeah, Reese, no, see? Oh, if I could.
This is why Reese got killed.
If I could move you further than the copyright page, I would. But so while she's there, she steals something and she starts getting this residual haunting, and now she's sober and clean, and she goes back on an anniversary of her sobriety to return the item that she stole. The problem is the item that she stole. It has the spirit of an inmate in it. Well, if you are an inmate and you escape prison, would you want to be brought back? No. So half of the book is the spirit that's attached to the fabric not wanting to go back. But at MSP, there's the 7-foot figure. They call him Big Boy. In my book, I made him the warden of all the ghosts. Well, if you were a warden and you had an escapee all of a sudden be returned to you, would you let them leave a second time? No. So that's what the book's about. The book is this juxtaposition of, the figure that's attached to what she stole, wanting to leave, and then the warden not wanting them to leave. Am I pixelated again?
I'm hearing voices in the hall, and it sounds like somebody walking around. I'm just going to go check that out real quick.
Yeah, why don't you do that? And I'm going to cancel my trip to your place.
Yeah, the next book will be.
You want me to write in that room? You guys have been on this show for 71 minutes and you've had like 12 things happen to you, and you want me there for 2 weeks to write?
You'll be fine, probably. Most people, there's only been one person murdered in this room.
And that's why it's called the murder room.
Right. So it's all good. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay, probably. I can assure you that things will probably be okay.
Probably most kind of be okay.
Yeah, you will leave in mostly an intact condition. You'll be pretty much fine.
Will I be taller? Could I be
We're
taller?
still the only ones here.
Only living people here.
Only living people.
Yeah. There's no way that I can be taller when I leave, right? Does that happen?
Well, we'll see. I
don't know if we've ever had anybody do that before.
No.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this room right here is Silas's room. Silas will keep you company.
We'll tell you all about that when you come. But let's show that trailer again one more time before we wrap it up. And for anybody that didn't get to see it, I mean, he's basically given us the premise of the book. Talks about how Hannah's evil and she steals something from a haunted Missouri State Penitentiary.
He just
Nobody would do that, would they, Brian?
No, because I didn't do that myself. A cat's already out of the bag with this, but this is what Hannah steals in the book. This is called a closet strip, and this is what the inmates would hang. Each cell had one of these, and the inmates would hang their clothes on these to either dry or whatever. And all of the cells had these, and a handful, about half of the cells still have them in it. So this is in the book what Hannah steals and what she has to bring back. And the cool thing about it is because it's just fabric, you can fold it up and you can tuck it in your pocket. This is how she gets it out of the prison. It's just really easy. Okay,
thanks for telling everybody who might want a souvenir from MSP.
So I know, right? This is how you steal kids from the prison.
Straight from a detective, y'all.
But yeah, so when I was leaving, one of the staff members, I won't say which one because I want her to keep her job. A lot of them are bolted to the wall so tightly that you can't get them off. But we found one that was easy to remove, so now I have it hanging in my room. So this is what. Yeah, so this is all over MSP, and this is the catalyst of my entire novel. Is this strip? So
that's pretty cool.
Lisa, it wasn't you, so you'll be like, "Wow, Brian," and Sheila already knew about it, so it's fine.
I'm gonna let you play that.
I can't believe that. Honestly, I can't believe that they would hang something like that in a prison. It seems like it'd be so easy for inmates to hang themselves or to use them as a weapon in some way.
Yeah, to tie them together or something.
But yeah, they did. So anyway. Let's go ahead and we'll take one more look at the trailer and we'll come back and wrap it up. So let me get over here.
Take the ticker off before you play it.
I'm going to take the ticker off before I play it. Producer told me to. All right. There it goes. The ticker's gone. So here we go, folks. The trailer. These walls. Look here. You told me to do it because you didn't know how. I'm going to tell them how.
Do it.
This is why our show is so much fun for me every week, y'all. Anyway, here we go. These will still talk. Brian Paone.
After Hannah steals a possessed piece of fabric.
It should be playing.
After Hannah steals a possessed piece of fabric from the Missouri State Penitentiary on a drunken dare, she resolves to return the item during an overnight phantom hunting event at the prison hosted by Get Haunted. Going from one creepy location to another in the dark hours, Hannah watches her best friend, Christian, experience increasingly spine-chilling incidents, one after the other. And when she can't remember where the object belongs and tries one last cell, a vengeful specter refuses to let them leave. She may have walked in, but will she walk back out with her life?
There it is. So, when will we purchase this book at Amazon or Noble?
So, like I said, we're having the big book release party. The big launch is there at the Missouri State Penitentiary, June 21st. So I
Did
don't know.
yours from there also?
So it looks like we lost your connection, or it might be me. I'm not sure what's going on.
I see.
I don't know if Rob can drop the link to the tickets to the book release party again.
Let's see here.
Let me back here.
I don't see him here.
I don't know if he's in here. He might have went over to the other show to help them, but here's the link up here again.
There it is. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
There
here.
Okay.
Better?
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I think Rob just dropped the link to the there. Okay, so people are dropping it. Yeah, so the book, that's gonna be the big release, right? And we're gonna do a full-blown overnight hunt. It's gonna be crazy. And then the book will be available. All of my books are available, like I said, ebook, paperback, and audiobook, in every bookstore in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, some in some shops in Italy and Germany. So yep, that's the distribution contract that I have. So yeah, so people over in the UK, hey, you know what? If there's anybody in the UK that has some haunted locations that, I'll fly over and stay at.
Damien, Alan, hello. They're in here right now. They can help you.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to invite me into their place, to write, I'm pretty clean. I'm pretty quiet, except when I scream. So
don't put the cart in front of the horse though, because you might not survive the murder room.
Oh gosh! Oh my God! Will you stop it? I'm rethinking this whole.
No, I promise. I think
They're
might
all
be okay.
pleasant. They're all pleasant here. They're just very loud. Like they're not shy at all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, it's funny because, I think because it was such a routine for me, I showed up at MSP every Friday at 4 p.m. I left MSP every Sunday morning, usually around 3 a.m. because it was for those 8 weeks, there was always a routine. I wondered if they started to recognize the routine, and they, because I felt like they were sometimes waiting for me. When I would show up, it felt more active, oh, you're here. So, that was interesting to see how at first they were curious. And then I was then they really didn't care as much, but I also felt like I just became part of the structure, Yeah.
Right.
Which is kind of cool,
Well, that's how you get the best activities, when you just kind of become part of the environment. You're not sticking out like a sore thumb and shining a flashlight everywhere, and
No, and I tried not to.
How did you die and all this,
Yeah, and when I was writing, I just had the glow of the laptop, really, and there was a lot of times I couldn't see the rest of the building in front of me because the glow of the laptop blacked it out,
Right.
And I would only turn the flashlight on if I heard something or something felt weird, right? But I didn't keep my flash on while I was writing, it's usually, so that was we did have a bat. We did have a bat in A-Hall, and Reese named him Barney the bat. And I do thank him in the book. And there was a lot of times when it was just me and him. We're the only two, carbon-based life forms in A-Hall. And he would be chirping away up in the corner, he'd make these little chirping noises. And I'd be like, hey, Barney, except he dive bombed twice while I was in there, which terrified me. And I was oh my God.
I get it.
Well, when you're sitting, you can sit up late at night and do your laptop in the bed here, and then you'll be able to look over and see one of the kids up looking at you on the edge of the bed. So
the what now? I'm sorry, the what now?
Children.
When the children will be on the side of the bed looking up at you when you're sitting there, right?
They might try to climb into bed with you. That happens. It'll be fine. You'll love it.
Can I bring a friend, like a human friend, like a chaperone or a bodyguard or something like that?
We might have Rob come down and hold your hand or something.
Oh my God.
That would work, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
Little kids who might look up over the bed while I'm writing.
Maybe.
They try to climb in bed with us all the time, but we're right beside the nursery. So.
We don't have any little kids though, living ones. So anyway, Brian, it's been great having you on. I can't wait to have you here at the house.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
And if it's within our power, we will be at MSP on the 21st of June.
Yeah, we
I'm gonna put
and
it on the calendar.
everybody that can possibly make it to that event, These Walls Still Talk book release at Missouri State Penitentiary in June of next year.
You've done it now, Brian. You've done it.
Trevor's gonna cuddle with me while I write.
But anyway, Brian, it's been a good time. I'm really psyched about the book. I think it's going to be cool, and can't wait to see what you got coming next. I know what it is, but I can't wait to see what you put together.
Right.
So we appreciate you coming on, man. Happy birthday again.
Thank you, everybody.
I want to thank everybody that chimed in over here in the chat. We had a lot of comments tonight, a lot of good folks over here.
Wade's going to send you some Depends.
I know. I saw that. Like I'm just like, what have I
You'll be fine. You'll probably be okay. Anyway, folks, we love y'all. Everybody be good to one another. Don't be assholes, okay? Don't play into any drama or bullshit. Just do you and be happy and treat everybody right. All right. We'll see y'all next week. We're gonna have Robert and Marie from Elite Paranormal. Yes, Robert and Marie Murphy from Elite Paranormal Society on. They do a show on here on Sunday afternoons. It's a really good show. But anyway, they're going to be on ours next week. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
We're still